Greetings, Jeepers. We got another some tips on taking a transmission and transfer case apart. So we'll step you through it.
So we're gonna walk you to the transmission right here. We got it on some 2x12s here. And we're going to separate the transmission from the transfer case. There's a few steps here you have to take to get it apart. And I'll show you guys how to do it.
And the first step of doing that is taking off this plate, because inside there is a big nut that has to come off before you can separate the two units. So I just got a 9/16 wrench here and I loosened them up. They came off fairly easy. You kind of just pull this cover off, and I think there should be a gasket here, and this one there's just sealant, so we'll have to look into that when we put it back together. So in there is that nut that we're going to attempt next to undo, and typically there is a cotter pin in there, and lo and behold, again we got some chicken wire. So it seems to us that whoever was working on this transfer case last ran out of cotter pins and used chicken wire, both in this bolt and on our e-brake that we were taking off the other day. There was chicken wire in there too. So we'll deal with that, and then we'll see if we can spin that bolt off.
So to take this super nut off, we have to put the transfer case back into four-wheel drive. And as of right now, it's in two-wheel drive, because if you spin this nut, just the rear spins, and we want it to be in four-wheel drive. So we put these shifters back in, and we push them both. Push this one down to engage it, and then push this one down to put it into low. And now when you spin the nut, it's in four-wheel drive. And now we can hopefully wedge something in here to take this nut off. First, you want to use these U-bolts that would attach the drive shaft to the transmission here. So you put them on, both of them, and then just put 4 nuts on the back side to secure it. To take this nut off, you have to use a 1.25 inch socket here to get onto this big nut that's right in there. Just slip it on, and use a breaker bar, because it's going to be pretty tight to get off. So with a crowbar, you stick the crowbar in between those 2 U-bolts. Like that. And then that is so someone can stand on this end while someone uses the breaker bar and pries on that nut. I will now stand on this crowbar so I can put pressure on the other side so you can get this nut off. And it comes off just like that.
This gear should just pull out if we're lucky, and presto, the gear came out. There's a washer that would sit in here.
We're now going to take the bolts that connect the transfer case and transmission together. There are 2 on the top here, and there's a couple on the bottom as well. I'm using a 9/16 socket. They just come off, all of them. So now I'm going to flip over the transmission to get the rest of the other bolts off. need a
I need a shallow socket with an extender. So we're headed with that. Do we got them all now? Yep, we do. There we go. I don't know what's holding it, but something fell out. Yeah. There's a gasket there. Oh, I see what it is. It's there. It goes in front.